What's up, Title Tribe? Welcome back to another Dynasty rookie mock draft with myself and Mike. We've got a very light crowd today. If people are, taking a little break after the NFL draft.
Or their legit drafts are happening right now.
Right. Well, I actually have a slow rookie draft that I'm currently doing. Wow.
Yeah, I just finished two of them, to be honest with you, today, actually. So wouldn't be surprised if everybody's just kind of got that fatigue of like they're literally doing theirs right now.
Yeah, definitely. But that's all right. We'll still I think what we're gonna do is for all these empty spots in here, we'll just Mike and I will make the picks, and we'll kind of just talk about who we would take in all these spots.
It's our first one post draft too, obviously.
Yeah.
So this should be interesting if things have changed in your mind here. Let me pull the stage up real quick. Pull the board up real quick. So there it is. But yeah, so I imagine a lot of things have probably changed in a lot of people's minds in regards to, draft position in their rookie drafts. I've been moving down a lot, to be honest with you.
Like just moving things around?
Yeah, like trading back.
Oh, I see. In your draft.
And accumulating like late second, early thirds, because I feel like there's a lot of value in those spots right now.
Definitely.
So
yeah, there's I feel like the tiers are pretty big.
Mm-hmm. I think you said it before, and I think it still stands true. I think it was what you said: wide receiver 7 through 16 was almost one big, huge tier, and I think that essentially goes for the entire running back class as well.
The running back, I've had zero fun ranking these running backs.
No, it is pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
The landing spots have just been weird, and like I don't know, just nobody really got the draft capital. It's
everybody's hyping up Blake Corum to the Rams, and I don't like. I mean, it's a good football move because it's kind of what the Rams want to do, but it's kind of like not the best landing spot in general for him.
Yeah. Only two running backs matter. That might end up being the case. I think. Jonathan Brooks got what I think is a great landing spot, and so did Trey Benson.
Yeah, I think that's probably what Dylan, aka Wicked, is referencing here.
Yeah.
Those two running backs. I believe it or not, I don't know if you're going to agree with this, but I actually don't mind the Bucky Irving landing spot in Tampa Bay. I do think he's a better overall runner of the football than Rachaad White is. Rachaad White just is not a very efficient running back. And Bucky Irving, in mind it being college, has been a very efficient running back even his time in college. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But
yeah, I think I was really not high on Rachaad White when he came out, and I actually think he's improved a lot personally. I think that offensive line has made him look not so good the past couple of years.
That too. Yeah,
we'll see what that. I'm not sure what the touch share is going to look like. But it is. I mean, Bucky has a easy like RB2 job in his hand. Like, there's no other competition beyond the two of them, which is good for him. It is a little weird though because they're both like pass catching.
Exactly. Yeah. The other interesting one is Ray Davis.
Yeah, that's another like really I think good football move. But I don't know about the fantasy relevance of him.
It's true. All right, well, let's get this thing started. We're going to start off with Genesis with the 101 pick. So let's see how this works. I think you and I, like we were talking about, are able to manually pick.
I cannot, but you can.
Oh, I can, right. But we're going to take turns back and forth.
Right. There, you want to click on although also nobody's actually in the draft room right now.
Are you typing in there?
Yeah, I don't know how to tag people. Does that work? If I just do at all?
Yeah, at all usually works for me. I can pause it real quick if you want to do that.
but I'm like not able to send a chat.
Oh, well, Genesis is in now, so
Okay. I don't know why I'm not able to.
on my laptop it's hard to do. On my phone it's a lot easier.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's still pretty chalk. I don't think that's changing.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams.
No new information after the draft. Well, actually, one new thing about Caleb Williams is that he has Rome Odunze to throw to now.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Has that moved Rome back at all for you? Or are you still pretty comfortable with him at the wide receiver 3 position? Because I've seen some people like have it come out right and said it, but alluded to it.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's not, I would rather him have gone somewhere where he could get immediate production. But I don't, like, I'm not moving him down. I think he's probably not going to pop off in year one. You know, the three of them are going to all get lots of targets, I think.
Do you want me to take this first one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. But yeah, continue on about Rome while you were saying.
Yeah, I was just, like, Keenan Allen's 32 and on a 1-year contract. I also think they all have like such well-defined roles and what they're going to do for the team. Keenan Allen's clearly the slot guy. DJ Moore is clearly the Z, and Rome Odunze is clearly going to be the X. And like once Keenan Allen moves on, it'll just be him and Moore, and that'll be a great 1-2 punch.
I gotta figure out how to do this real quick.
So yeah, if you click on the pick itself, like, yeah.
Ah, wow! Look at me go. All right, we'll take Drake May there.
Okay. So did anything change for you then
in regards to May?
Yeah, with his running spot. I think we kind of expected that going into the draft. But
yeah, I kind of expected it. I don't love it, but I kind of like what New England did during the draft. They grabbed 2 wide receivers. They grabbed some offensive line help. Here, let me pause this real quick, and I
don't think you have to pause it each time. I think you can just
okay, just let it keep going,
and then add in the pick when we're ready. Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, I just overall liked what New England did, and there were rumors that like Minnesota offered 3 first-round picks to get Drake May, and New England rejected it. So it seems like they have a plan in place for him. You know?
Yeah, no, definitely, and I think they did really well in the draft, like outside of taking May. Polk was an interesting pick. I was kind of surprised by that, and it was probably a little early for my taste, but Polk and Baker, great combination, great 2 guys to get.
Yeah, Baker has been dropping WWE type promos for the past week. It's just absolutely going off, and I love it. He did it again today. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah, I did. He's doing the whole like 10 guys before me or whatever.
Yeah, because I think what he's referencing is the 10 guys after the first round that were drafted. Because I think he believed he was a 2nd-round pick. That's my understanding.
So my pick here is I think Jaden Daniels.
Okay. I think that's about right.
I mean, like, Commanders isn't a great landing spot by any means, but
no, but it's not bad.
Yeah, it could be worse. I trust Cliff Kingsbury to a certain extent to have a decent offense, and he's got a couple of nice pass catchers there.
All right, so I took J.J. McCarthy right after that. I don't love it. I don't love J.J. McCarthy, but let's be honest, he probably got the 2nd best or 1B type landing spot for these quarterbacks. Just having Justin Jefferson and, Jordan Addison and everybody.
Yep. And I think I would honestly maybe say that that's a better landing spot than what Caleb got with Chicago, just because there's a little uncertainty with like the like offensive coordinator, like new offensive coordinator, like not necessarily the most proven guy. He was pretty good in Seattle, but the Kevin O'Connell I think is great, and I think McCarthy's a perfect fit for that offense. With the next pick, let's see. I think for me it's still Bowers, even with the landing spot.
I agree with that. That's probably who I would have taken here. I did that in one draft. I had the 1-6 and the 1-8, and I double tapped on Bowers, not double tap because it wasn't back to back, but I got Odunze and Bowers at the 6-8, and I loved it. I was so happy about that.
Yeah. The draft,
From
the rookie draft I'm in now, we're at the 10th pick, and Bowers is still on the board.
Really? At the 10th pick?
Yep.
Wow. Whew. That's I would be all over that. I'd be trying to move up to grab him.
The person on the clock right now does definitely need a tight end, so I think he'll go right now.
I think what I did is what I moved up from. What I did was I had the 11th pick. I moved up. I gave up a third round pick to get to 1-8 to draft Bowers. So I essentially gave up a third to get Bowers, and I'm 110% okay with that.
That's definitely that's a great trade.
It's
interesting because the guy who just passed on him at 9 has Kelsey and Michael Mayer as his only 2 tight ends. Feels like that would have been a good.
Oh, yeah, 100%, especially going from Kelsey.
Yeah. Ooh. Worthy and Glad.
So I've been going Worthy at that 1-9 spot every single time, to be honest with you, without fail.
I've got no issues with that.
Mm-hmm.
I have the tier from. I have those 3 receivers: Thomas, McConkey, and Worthy all on a tier together.
Yeah, I think that's 100% fair. I think that's the correct tier to have together.
Yeah, this is actually now a tough one for me. It's interesting because I have those 2 guys that just went as my 11 and 12 in my ranking.
So who's 9?
It's Brian Thomas. I guess I'll go Brian Thomas.
Okay.
There.
But
we'll see what
happens with him,
where the rest of these guys go. But yeah, I mean, honestly, all 3 of those guys that just went good landing spots.
Oh, 100%, and especially first round draft capital as well.
Nix is who. I have him over Worthy and McConkey, all in the same tier still.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like Bo Nix. I think people are a little too down on him.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm taking Penix over Bo 1,000 times out of 1,000.
So what did you do with Penix in your rankings after the draft? Because it's such a weird one where he got such great draft capital, but he's not.
So it's very confusing what to do with him because they're saying he could sit for 5 years and be ready. He's going to be 28 at that point, which is just absolutely insane. Kirk Cousins, I think they have to have him because of dead cap for at least 2 to 3 years, I think, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything were to happen with Kirk, he has probably the best landing spot out of the quarterbacks, just based on a talent perspective. Would you agree with that?
It's close with. I would probably take Chicago's talent.
Really? Okay. Even with Pitts, London, Bijan, the offensive line is very good. Lindstrom.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I'm interested to see Chicago's offensive line with somebody other than Fields because it was kind of hard to tell at times how much of it was their fault and how much of it was his fault.
Mm-hmm.
But just skill positions, I think I would still take Chicago. Pitts and London, London, I think is a stud. Pitts also is a stud, but I'm worried about the health, and he didn't really look like a player last year.
He definitely didn't look the same last year. It could have, who knows? It could have been Arthur Smith. It could have been the health. Roman Wilson. Okay, that's a little rich. I'll admit, but I mean, if I were to trust anybody with wide receivers, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know you're not a Roman guy.
I'm not. I think whoever was in charge of our receiver
2 years, so they have to have Kirk for 2 years.
Yeah. I actually moved. Well, I don't know if I moved him down. I don't really know where I had Penix in my overall rankings before the draft, but I didn't move him up, to be honest.
I kept him at 4.
Well, I'm just talking about in my overall.
Oh, overall. Okay.
Superflex rankings. I have him all the way down at the 208. I don't know, the already old, injury riddled quarterback going to that landing spot and having to sit, and like I just don't know if I want to wait 2-3 years to get anything from my first round pick.
That's true. I could agree with that. I don't know. But the thing is with quarterbacks in Superflex especially, it feels like their value never really dies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it'll be really interesting what happens with his value, but because like somebody like Jordan Love, his value did kind of tank there when Aaron Rodgers' career he kind of revived himself and won those MVPs. Love was going really late in startups.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers was still kind of at his peak at that point too. So I think we're at the end of Kirk as opposed to what we were with Rodgers at that point. You know what I mean?
Yes, I kind of agree. I think the Packers and people thought that we were at the end of Aaron Rodgers at the time when they made that pick.
Okay,
That's why
fair.
they made that pick.
That's
and
fair.
then he won those 2 MVPs.
Mm-hmm.
With Kirk, like I thought last year was the best season of his career, honestly.
Yeah, then that Achilles, especially on somebody who is what 37, right? Or am I overaging him a little?
Something
Yeah.
like that.
But
He's
like that Achilles is nothing, especially even Rodgers now. Like I don't think that's anything to really. Oh, I'm surprised you did that.
Yeah, I just did that.
I am shocked, actually.
He's going too late for me.
He's going too late, but there's a wide receiver on the board that I thought you would have just been like all over with
Yes,
how much
that would be my next pick.
Well, actually, you're up right now for this pick.
Yes, and I will. Yeah, I will do Ricky
here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm the only person on the planet probably who moved Ricky Pearsall down in my receiver rankings after the draft.
Is that because Ayuk and Debo didn't get selected?
No, like yes and no.
Or didn't get traded. I'm sorry. I meant to say.
I know what you meant. I think it has more to do with I moved Xavier Worthy up with his landing spot than anything Ricky Pearsall did. And yeah, I still don't know if I could. If I were on the clock in that situation, I would be distraught about having to pick between Mitchell and Pearsall.
But if you're getting a first, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, I have them in a mini tier of their own.
If you're getting a first round wide receiver and a first round quarterback at the 2.6, 2.7, you are making out pretty well, in my opinion.
No, definitely.
And I've seen that. That's where I've seen both of those players go.
Yeah. I'm tempted to so it's my pick now. I don't think this is what I would do in a real draft just because I don't know that I would have to. Maybe you would, but I'm just going to go blindly with my rankings for this just for the effect, I think. So I'm going to go Jermaine Burton here.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I don't hate that, to be honest. I think
I love the landing spot for him.
Oh, yeah. Where the hell is he? Okay, there he is. Oh, this is even worse because I got to do it on the screen. I thought I was just able to do it. I like the landing spot as well.
Yeah, I think T. Higgins, the writing's kind of on the wall there. I don't necessarily know that he gets traded, but this is definitely his last year there.
This is taking me entirely too long. I apologize.
Come on.
There we go. Okay. I was having all sorts of mishaps on that one. I talked about this earlier at the 2.6. I posted a poll on Twitter today. Would you take a stab in the dark on Xavier Legette at the 2.6? We're at the 2.9 right now, and I'm all over it. I'm taking it.
Yeah.
First round draft capital. I think he is a much better version of what they wanted Jonathan Mingo to be last year. And when I say much better, I don't think Mingo's very good. I think Xavier Legette has a chance to be decent. I don't think the comparison of the two of them is quite fair, to be honest. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens with him. And I think I'm next, right? So, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm going to take Jalen Polk here at the 210. Early second round capital. I think he was pick 34. So
Yeah, 37, I believe. They traded
still,
back.
yeah,
But
still very, very early second round capital for him on a team that is deployed of wide receivers or deployed. No, that's not the right word. Deprived.
Right.
They're deploying new wide receivers, I guess, is what I meant there. So it'll be very interesting to see what his usage and what John Baker's usage will be, and Pop Douglas as well, because he's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when they first made that pick, I was a little bummed out for Polk's sake because I was worried that they were going to misuse, because they have kind of like a bunch of weird slot receivers there already, like with Juju and
I keep forgetting he's there.
And like Kendrick Bourne. I don't know what Kendrick Bourne does, but
something.
Yeah, he plays receiver, I guess. And I was worried that they were going to make Polk play on the outside, but then when they took Baker the next day, that pairing I really like, because Baker will be your X and Polk you can have as your slot flanker, whatever they want to do with it. Probably Pop Douglas will be in the slot. And so I liked that combination a lot. My pick here is going to be, oh, wow. Has he not gone yet?
Who's that?
Oh, no. Okay. He went away. I was going to say, I didn't see Keon Coleman go, and I was like, wow, that's really late.
Yeah.
I will go Troy Franklin then.
Yeah, the fall of Troy Franklin needs to be studied by a scientist or something, because what the hell? He is not a fourth round wide receiver.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I agree, like in most drafts. In terms of where he went, like what receiver number he was selected at, I think he was like the
16th.
Yeah, the 16th receiver off the board. Like for me, that's not too much lower than I had him. I'm just lower. I've been lower on him the whole process than most people.
But do you think like even fourth round is still like? Did you see fourth round coming? Like I know you're lower on him.
I was surprised by that.
Yeah,
I was definitely surprised. But I thought maybe he could fall after what's his name? Daniel Jeremiah had him like really, really low on his last big board of the year.
Did he?
Yeah, he had him as like wide receiver.
I've seen a bunch of mocks that had him as a second round pick, so I'm surprised. I don't remember what Jeremiah's last one was.
So we don't get the third running back until the 301.
That sounds about right to me.
Yeah.
That sounds about right to me. What was I going to say? There was we mentioned Franklin, we mentioned Burton was a third rounder, correct? So, I mean, I think that's about right for him, especially with the off the field stuff. But I think he could, talent wise, I think he's a second round pick. Mitchell's a second round pick that's where he went, but I think he has talent to be a first round pick. Malik Washington to me is not a fifth round pick. Like I think he's better than that. Or sixth. Yeah, I think he's better than that. So that was very surprising to me.
I tweeted this, but some of the receivers that were going off the board before him, like I was losing my mind.
Luke McCaffrey going before all of those was absolutely insane. Like, I don't know. That one I can't get on board with.
What's up, Cold Crush? How you doing?
Cold Crush?
Somebody in the chat.
Oh, hello. How are you today?
Jalen Wright at the 302. That was another weird landing spot. Like I don't know what to do with that.
I like the Marshawn Lloyd landing spot more than that.
You like the Lloyd landing? That's another. It was a weird one for me. Like I don't know.
It was a weird one, but I kind of like it because I think him and Jacobs complement each other well. If that makes sense. I think he could be the Aaron Jones type running back. You know what I mean? Pass catching. Jones more Jacobs. Sorry, being the more in between the tackles runner, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I do think Jacobs will get most of the volume, at least to start, but as opposed to Aaron Jones was getting the volume before. But
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of like this pick here.
Benson.
Yeah, in the second round, going to Washington, where they kind of are depleted. I almost said it again, deployed of tight end talent. I think that's a decent spot for him.
Yeah, definitely. I will say I'm surprised though that you didn't take this guy.
Yeah, I was going to, but I think around now is a good spot to take the second tight end off the board.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
no, I have Snot as my 301. So
yeah, so I think that's perfect. Am I up? Or no, you're up for this one.
Oh yeah, this is me. Okay. Let's see. Oh boy, this is gonna be a spicy one.
Luke McCaffrey.
No, not quite. I guess it's not maybe too spicy. I'm gonna go Kamani Vidal.
Yeah, to be honest, that is brilliant. That is what was he, a 6-rounder, right? That's fifth, sixth? I don't remember.
I think.
But all that aside, he could be the running back one. In
He's
that
weirdly
team.
really, really low on the sleeper thing. You have to scroll
I
down.
just saw him.
Yeah.
That is a great pick. I really like that. I think he deserves to be on the top. What is this? The sixth running back off the board. So that 110% makes sense to me.
Yeah. HN and Mostert will miss time. Right, we'll get work year one. Yeah, you're probably right. But I don't know, just going forward, I don't know how that backfield's going to be. It's just
all speed, all gas.
Yeah, I guess Wright will probably take the Mostert role where he is more I know they're both kind of similar players, but Mostert was more of the between the tackles guy between him and HN. That's probably what Wright is going to be, I would guess, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're trying to keep up with the comments, but it's hard to do while we're trying to also pick for 7 teams too.
Yeah.
I do like Jalen McMillan, to be honest with you, going to Tampa. Chris Godwin's contract is up at the end of this season, or they have it out, I believe, one of the two. So he could be a nice, slot wide receiver for them.
Mm-hmm. Another guy I'm kind of surprised that I'm taking him before you did, but I'll go Malachi Corley here.
He's not gone?
I don't think so. Oh, has he?
On. Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, I can't see him because I'm looking at the.
Oh yeah, he's gone. He went at the 212. I was going to say, hold on a minute.
Okay, yeah, because I have him down pretty far down in my rankings relatively. I think.
Really, I think he could be the number 2 on that team pretty easily.
For sure, yeah, no, he could. I don't know. It's a good landing spot, I think. I don't know. I just never really bought into the player.
For the hype.
He's fun. I like him. I hope he does well. But okay, with that, I guess my pick is Will Shipley then.
Going to my Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
I was kind of a little surprised by that. Well, not really, to be honest. You know what? I don't know why. I'm just not thinking. I could just search them, make my life a lot easier. I don't know why I haven't done it, and I'd still hit the damn wrong button. I am not.
Mike versus computer.
No, yeah. I'm like Patrick, where it's we're not cavemen, we have technology, and he starts slamming the computer. Yeah, that's me 90% of the time. Now, where was I going? I had a pick in my head, and now it's gone. Oh, yeah. I mean, we talked about it at the 3-9. I'm pretty happy with that, with Bucky Irving going to Tampa. So where am I going here for this one? This is going to be an interesting pick.
The receivers are pretty much dried up at this point.
Yeah, there's nobody I really, really, really would take a flyer on at this point.
I was so happy that after the Ravens took my favorite receiver last year, they turned around and took my least favorite receiver this year. Revenge.
I mean, listen, you know how I kind of like Tez Walker as a vertical threat. And I think he could potentially fill that role in Baltimore pretty well. So I don't mind that, especially with a strong arm quarterback like Lamar.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I don't know. I just can't get there on him. Once the reception perception thing came out and confirmed what I already felt, that was all I needed to like fully dive into the anti-Tez Walker stuff.
Yeah. I've kind of been just taking flyers on him in the 3rd round, to be honest with you. Or 4th round. Sorry. In the 4th round of rookie drafts.
All right. I will go. I guess I'll go Malik Washington here.
Yeah. I just grabbed him today in the in the middle of the 4th. Luke McCaffrey, 2nd round pick, still on the board.
Yeah, that was a head scratching pick.
Washington.
Sanders,
I like that pick.
Shipley probably. That's a good point. Yeah.
What do you say?
Shipley probably gets some starts year 1 when Saquon twists his ankle for the 9th year in a row.
That's funny. Have fun watching Zeke Elliott for the 19 yards he's going to have on 30 carries in his old ass. Hilarious. They're all in on having the worst running back room in football.
Puzzling draft from the Cowboys after with the Genesis with the said he's taking a guy he thinks has a shot at the starting running back job. Is it who I think it is?
If
I think
it's it's who I thought he was going to take. I kind of was looking at him for the 310 pick where I took Ray Davis. There's a possibility.
Yeah, I think him and Zamir White are just gonna have like really clearly defined roles. Like Zamir White might catch like 4 passes this year.
Yeah,
and Dylan might catch 50. And
I was gonna say like 44.
Yeah. And have Dylan Lobby will have like very few carries. But I like him a lot. And in the 4th round, I think that's a great.
Yeah, it's dart throw season, and might as well take the dart throw on a guy who's going to have some PPR upside.
Yeah, for sure.
How far did Braylon Allen and Audric Estime both fall in the draft? Like, I don't think both of them are that bad.
I don't think they fell too far in the NFL draft. They just got horrendous landing spots.
Yeah. Braylon Allen, I think, definitely got the worst of the two.
Braylon Allen's I think was not that bad. And then they just turned around and drafted Isaiah Davis like the next round. That was bad. Poor Isaiah Davis.
Or Izzy Abanaconda too, to be honest with you.
What? Oh, I forgot. I went on a whole rant about this when they did this. I don't get what they're doing over there, to be honest.
No, I really don't either. I like Izzy too. Like, I don't know. It is what it is. The Jets just continue to Jets.
Yeah. I assumed that they liked him too because they let they cut Michael Carter because he asked to be so that he could get playing time.
Yeah.
When he went to the Cardinals and did get some playing time. And then so that made me think, oh, they're high on Izzy, like that's their backup running back. But then they draft 2. I don't get it.
And Izzy looked good in the few spot plays he had. You know what I mean? I don't think he blew the doors off anybody, but
yeah. I will say with Braylon Allen, Breece Hall only has. I mean, he's got this year and next year on his contract. No 5th-year option because he was a 2nd-round pick.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
it's hard to say what will happen. The running back market, they're just hard to predict. And
I mean, the way everybody got paid this year,
right? And because somebody could pay him a lot of money from another team, and he could just take the biggest offer and go somewhere else. And then Braylon Allen comes, and he'll only be 22 years old at that point.
That's true, and so will Izzy.
Yeah.
They'll have the youngest running back room.
Yeah.
We'll let the computer take this one. Theo Johnson. I mean, yeah, well, that was the computer's pick.
Yeah, no issues with that. He's my 402.
Yeah, I will actually take. I'll take Estime here. I preferred Estime pre-draft. I still kind of prefer him post-draft. I mean, I think both of them didn't get the best of spots, to be honest with you. But
the Estime one is really weird to me. That pick really surprised because I felt like they had one of the deepest running back rooms in the league.
Mm-hmm. They have what? Javonte, Samaje P. Ryan, Jalen McMillan, right? Is the other one?
Jaleel McLaughlin.
What did I say?
Jalen McMillan.
Yeah. Oh, I've got rookie fever. That's probably why I don't feel well.
All right.
After the middle of the almost the back end of the third round, it dies here.
Yeah. I'm gonna take this guy is either gonna be like the starting running back in like 2 years and get like a lot of carries this year, or he's like gonna be like Tyrion Davis Price and just disappear forever and we'll never hear from him again. But they love their fast running backs.
So you and I kind of talked about this on Twitter briefly, and I actually really like this for if you play, especially if you play in a special teams league. I kind of like this. If I can just load this down. Again, I should just type it in. I like that pick. I think he could take the slot role. I think he could, if you're in a special teams league where like kickoff return yards, kickoff return touchdown matter. He's a good flyer, to be honest, because I think he's a really good punt returner. And I think the Eagles, like Britt Covey, I don't think is like anything good.
I love him.
Who's that?
I said I loved Britton Covey at Utah.
Did you?
Yeah, he was their like return man there, and he was fun.
He's got he has flashes, and then all of a sudden he'll do nothing for like weeks at a time.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised when he made it to the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Aeneas Smith. I mean, I think he's also like a pretty good receiver.
So do I. I kind of forgot to mention that. I think he's a very quick, kind of twitchy wide receiver. I gave him way too much special teams props instead of forgot to talk about the wide receiver position. But, again, mostly just a quick and twitchy guy. Small, for sure.
He's a converted. He played running back initially.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
I think this is where Braylon Allen's slide is going to have to end.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think that's a good spot. Again, like you said, he's 20 years old. You might as well take the shot.
Yeah.
I think here, this is tough.
It's crazy. If you would have told people like 2 years ago that Braylon Allen was going to be a 4th-round rookie pick after that freshman year,
you would have had to fight every single person on Twitter. You would have had to like have a fist fight with everybody on Twitter. Here's where it's kind of interesting. Okay, I'll give this team Brendan Rice because I think, or Jacob Cowing. Let's go Jacob Cowing. I don't know why he didn't show up because I had it too far down.
I'm dangerously close to having to draft Devontae Walker. You better not make me do that.
No, I got him. Don't worry. I was going to take him. It was between him and Cowing and Rice for that last pick. And then I was like, okay, well, one of them got to go here. So I realized Cowing's still there. And I think he's solid. Like, I don't think he's going to play much, but, we're in the dart throw season. So
for sure. When the Niners drafted him, one, that was just kind of weird, I thought. But I was like annoyed, but also very happy that it wasn't Malik Washington. Because I think, in my opinion, Malik Washington is like the better version of Jacob Cowing. And Malik
it's actually really funny because I kind of agree. I really agree with that.
And he would be perfect in San Francisco for like in that, not that he is the same exact player as Debo, but in that same role. where you're like over the middle of the field and like, you know, you can use them on jet sweeps and all that stuff.
I was going to say like a lesser version of Ayuk with Washington just because of the route running.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, I don't know why he went as late as he did.
I don't know either. All right, I will do. This guy I don't really see get drafted ever, so I'm gonna give him a pick here. Cade Stover.
Yeah, so I thought about him, and then I actually just kind of completely forgot, to be honest. I don't mind that pick at all because he goes to a familiar quarterback in CJ Stroud.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Is this me? Yeah, this is me.
Yeah. I mean, definitely too many mouths to feed over there right now. But with tight ends, like you're not expecting much immediately anyway. And Dalton Schultz, I think Dalton Schultz just signed an extension.
Did he? Yeah, I mean, again, but like they don't have anybody else besides him. Like it was a Brevin Jordan. They always have to rely on, and he never pans out.
Yeah.
I kind of like. I mean, Brendan Rice, I wasn't a huge fan of, but like at the 4'11" in that spot, like
great landing spot for him.
Yeah, it is.
He was probably like I didn't even think he was that bad when I was watching him, but I was just kind of bored watching. Like he was just so average at like everything. I felt
he takes him a while to get into his routes. It feels like, and I think that's why it feels so long.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, like I don't think too much has changed. I don't know why I closed it out already, but I don't think a lot has changed. Maybe some guys like I think Braylon Allen has definitely fallen. I think Estime has definitely fallen. I think maybe what I'll do is I'll go through our last mock before the draft and kind of put them together and see what it looks like compared to this one that we just did. But yeah, it's very interesting. What's that?
This one was just mostly us.
Yeah,
so that'll
picking against each other.
Yeah, it's fun though.
Yeah, it's definitely a different way that we've done it in the past. So I enjoyed that.
It lets us talk about more people. Honestly,
instead of kind of just focusing on the guys that we're taking.
Right.
And you took Javon Baker as like, it is what it is at this point. Like I have, I mean, I have him in every single league that I've drafted so far. So I can't be mad at it at this point. Yeah. I really think he's going to be a very solid wide receiver too on that team. And I think Polk could be like a 2B on that. Like I don't, you know, I have a soda bet going with TJ Blake of Dynasty DNA on who's going to have the more fantasy points between Jalen Polk and Javon Baker year one. So it's a soda bet. Whoever wins has to have the other person send a case of soda. I obviously took the Javon Baker side, and every single time I see that dude say something on Twitter, I'm like, yeah, this dude's fucking winning this for me.
Yeah, I know his Twitter stuff is so funny. I love, I mean, you love to see it. I like my receivers to be crazy people.
Yeah, that's exactly what you and I have talked about. I like my wide receivers with a bit of arrogance to them, like confidence, like it's their ball or nobody else's. Like, you know what I mean? Like I love George Pickens, AJ Brown. T.O. is my favorite wide receiver of all time. So I love it.
My favorite receiver to watch ever, and like he was my favorite player, Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Lunatic.
Can't get any crazier than that guy.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Steelers draft as a whole, by the way, now that you mentioned Antonio Brown? I
liked it. I honestly I was out at a bar watching the draft on day 2, and I was upset at the Roman Wilson pick just because of how low I was on him compared to everyone else. But then I thought about it more, and we took him as like the 14th receiver off the board.
Mm-hmm.
He was like my 17th receiver. So like there weren't
really that mad at it.
And like the guys I really would have wanted over him, like Baker and Franklin, like weren't really what we needed.
Yeah.
So I'm not too mad about it. And then I love what they did in the first couple rounds.
I think Baker and Franklin are too much to what Pickens is. You know what I mean?
Definitely Baker.
I don't love it. Like I think you and I both are pretty low on Wilson, but he does fill that Deontay Johnson role pretty well. You would think, right?
Well, Deontay was outside usually playing. I think Wilson will stick in the slot
Hmm.
probably.
But I mean, just more or
I don't
less
know.
as a route runner.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I think
I don't think Roman Wilson's a very good route runner.
he's
Personally,
solid.
maybe we'll see. I think honestly his best attribute is his hands. He's
Mhm.
just smaller, so like it doesn't pop as much on like film because he's not making like crazy catches over guys. Although he does sometimes. He had that one catch, I forget who it was against, where he like caught it on the back of the defender who was.
Oh yeah. I think I saw that too. Yeah, that was a nice one.
But yeah, and then Peyton Wilson was a nice pick too. I don't really
He
know. I don't
plummeted.
know defense, but people seem to say it
Mhm.
was a good pick.
I saw a lot of people that had him as like their linebacker too, and I think
PFF
he
had
was
him
like
as
almost like the fourth or fifth taken at that point.
yeah, PFF had him as like a top 30 player in the draft.
Hmm.
But
Hmm. I love the Jeremiah Trotter Jr. pick for the Eagles. Like that late,
that late, sure.
I'll take a shot.
Yeah, the Eagles had a good draft. I mean, everybody's been complimenting them. The Cooper to Gene, all that.
Cooper Sharp cheese. Yeah, that's a good pick.
And trading with the Commanders for it too.
Yeah, which was I think what they did that on purpose because after that pick, I think 3 corners were taken. So I think they thought New Orleans was going to take him if they didn't move up to grab him because Kool-Aid went right after, and I think 1 or 2 others went right after that. So
Yeah.
it was a good move. Quinyon Mitchell, guy I got to see firsthand at the Senior Bowl, just have people on lockdown all week. I am so thrilled like to have him because it's been so long the Eagles have taken a corner in the first round. I thought they were going to take offensive linemen in the first round again, and I probably wouldn't be here today talking because I would have been still so pissed. But
once all those corners were falling, I figured that they would grab one.
it was so weird, right? Like, well, first of all, you and I were both on live together for a majority of the draft.
Yeah.
And the run on offense, it was what, 14 or 15 picks straight of offense?
Yeah, I think 15 was the first defensive player.
It was Dallas Turner in Minnesota, right?
It was Latu to the Colts.
Oh, the Colts. Okay. And then I think Turner went right after that,
Mhm.
like not long after that. But yeah, it was a very dynasty relevant first round.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was great, but a little confusing picks in there as well. So
yeah, for sure. All right, I think we will let it go there. Thank you, everyone who watched, and thank you to the couple of you who drafted with us.
Yeah, next time hopefully we'll have 12 or 10.
Hopefully you guys all do well in your rookie drafts.
Do you have any coming up?
I'm in one right now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I have one of mine isn't for like 3 weeks, which was annoying, but yeah, I'm excited to start getting shares of these guys.
I have one tomorrow and I have one Sunday. And then I have 2 Devy drafts in 2 weeks.
Ooh, I'm not in a Devy league. I got to get in one.
Yeah, it's fun. It's very so. Well, real quick, the one thing if you're going to get into Devy and if you're listening to this and you're interested in the Devy, kind of just avoid quarterbacks at all costs.
Yes.
If that's one thing I learned in the year and a half that I've been in the Devy league, just trade for a quarterback. Or, wait till the depleted Devy draft to draft one because drafting a freshman like I did this year, I took the dude who was the backup to Caleb Williams this year, the freshman. His name's escaping me right now.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He transferred to Boise.
Malachi.
Yeah. And
that's a tough transfer. I don't know what's up with that.
It hurts majorly. So if you're getting into Devy, just avoid quarterbacks, to be honest with you.
Yeah, if you think the NFL draft hit rates are low,
Devy hit rates are worse.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good one.